Hi everyone, it's Catch a Fire and we want to welcome Miss CARMETA ALBARUS to the program. Welcome to New York Links.
Thank you so very much for
having
me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming. And we will be discussing first FURI, which is an organization that you are responsible for forming.
Yes.
And we're also going to touch on your book because you're an author as well.
Yes, thank you.
So first, let's talk about FURI. I understand that it's an organization that help deportees transition when they return to their homeland. So tell us a little bit about that.
FURI stands for Family Unification and Resettlement Initiative, and it is a 501c3 organization that was founded in 2002, and an organization that was founded in response to some of the problems, some of the challenges that individuals faced when they were deported to Jamaica, particularly those who had no family or social ties to the island because they had left so long ago, and they, returned to really a foreign and sometimes a very hostile environment because, because of the stigma that is associated with deportation and deported persons. It makes it very difficult for them to transition back into the society. So FURI was really started, in response to that, to help them have a more, smoother transition back home.
Yes, I noticed you mentioned it's a 501c3 organization, which means, guys, it's legit. If you plan to donate to FURI, which we're going to get to in a second,
yes,
you can claim it on your taxes.
Yes, so, it's tax deductible.
We can trust FURI at this point so far. So we understand that you do help out in certain areas such as healthcare and education. So can you give us more information on that aspect?
Well, what we do is we work in collaboration with other agencies. So if, when a person comes to us, we do a needs assessment. And in the needs assessment, we see what areas they have needs for. For instance, if someone has, health concerns, we refer them to the appropriate agency. Mental health or, physical health. If someone has no place to go, we have a place where we can refer them to, especially, those who come down really have no one, and, in fear of ending up on the streets. There is, temporary shelter that's provided through a collaboration with the British government and the Ministry of National Security. When people come into our office, we help them, for the jobs that may be available. We work with, individuals who may be able to provide employment for our members. We help them to put their resume together. We have a computer, resource room, so that they can get on the internet. They can do job searches. Very, very practical stuff in terms of
basic resources.
Basic resources that will help them, to make the transition a little bit, a little smoother.
So what do you think about, like you said, some people have been here for so long and then they end up getting deported. Somewhere in between that is there's some kind of injustice. But then somewhere in between that, it's like, okay, maybe you should be here legally. But to me, it's not fair. Like, if I can say that, I don't think it's fair. Because it's like you're sending someone back to foreign. Like, you're thinking, okay, that's their home, that's where they came from. But someone who's been here for 30 or 40 years, who's made their life here and actually invested in this country, then, or whatever country they are, whether it be Canada or the UK, like, how do you feel about that situation?
Well, I feel that there's something wrong with the system. That, mandatory deportation, where an individual, who may have spent their entire lives, outside of the country is sent back, torn away from their families. When you think of separating parents from their children, whose best interest is that? When, someone is sent back like that. When people who have, committed crimes or, sometimes very, as far as I'm concerned, pretty minor offenses years ago and have, gone through transformation. They may have done, as people say, youthful indiscretions. And then, they have build their lives, they have their family, they have their home, they're paying into the
Yes.
system, and then for, they maybe a traffic offense, and then they're shipped back.
And then,
Now,
yeah.
who benefits and who loses? I think this society loses, because then the children who are left behind, because the parent is torn, and sent back, is now at risk.
Yeah. No, you're mentioning children and like being apart from their family, and maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I want to talk about the book. It's called The Making of Lee Boyd Malvo, the DC Sniper.
Yes.
And if you guys probably don't remember, the DC Sniper was a father-son team where they basically went around, and how many people ended up dead? About 10 people?
10 people in the Washington D.C.
area, yes. And this young man, he was only 17, so he was looking to his father figure for guidance.
He was looking for a father figure. This man was not his father.
Right.
This man was just someone who his mother had gotten abuse of, from.
And let me just say, Miss Albarus can talk about this because she was very closely related to the case.
Yes, I was a member of the defense team.
Yes.
I was a member of the defense team as the social worker. And so it was, I was responsible for putting together his social history, and presenting it in a way that the jury, the courts could see. Yes, could see what factors factored into him being where he was, being attached to this father figure, and being taken on this murderous trail. So, and then, and this was in 2003 that I was retained as the case. But since then, I have maintained, a connection with this young man, who was desperately in need of a parental figure, because, he had been, left by his mother, abandoned by his father. And 6 weeks after I started working with this kid, to tell you how deep this is, he started calling me mom. And he was calling me mom for about 3 years. And so, and I saw the transformation. I saw that I met, this killer, John Lee Muhammad, because his name had been changed, and this persona that was created. And, and I had to work through that. And even after the trial, there were vestiges of this killer there, and it was working through him, having a connection with him over the years, that he has now evolved to being, the Christian Lee Boyd Malvo that Muhammad had transformed. So it's pretty deep, and it really speaks to the impact of migration on the children who are left behind, okay?
Yeah.
Because, one of the things that I've discovered in my work, and I do a lot of work with immigrants, and people are being deported now, that they were the ones, a lot of them were the ones who were left behind when the parent, usually the mother, migrated, and they were left behind, and sometimes in not too favorable conditions. And then when they came up here, there was no real structure. There was no real direction or guidance.
Because they come here, mom or dad is hardworking.
Working 2-3 jobs. So and so they are, then they become victims of the street, and then they go into the prison, and then they are sent back home to a society where when they, 20, 30 years ago when they were children, they felt alone, alienated, and abandoned because the parents had, migrated. So it's like a cycle. And so, I see that one of the things that we have to do so that we mitigate situations like this, like the Malvo, that is, we hope we never have another situation like that.
Extreme.
That was really very, very extreme, that we really, understand who we are leaving our children with.
Yes.
And when they do come and join us, that we make sure that they know that they are welcome, that they know that they are a part of the unit, and it's not the almighty dollars. That is important. It really is the welfare of the child.
I totally agree. So, guys, before we say goodbye to Miss Albarus, we're going to let you know about the 10th anniversary of FURI Dinner Dance that's coming up. That's on October 6th at 8 p.m. at the Tropical Ballroom Paradise. And our friend Raga Shanti will be the keynote speaker, but he will be coming with his educational hat on. So don't expect the mix-up and the pasa-pasa that night, okay? So, and let us know where we can find the book and.
Well, the book is in the bookstores, and you know, but you can get it very easily from Amazon.com or from Barnes and Noble. The formal launch of the book is going to be on the 3rd of October in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But the dinner dance, I really want to, you know, impress upon everyone who may have know someone who has been deported, who, you know, sees this as a, you know, a significant issue, to really support this, because this is a fundraiser.
Yes.
You know, because it is not funded. It is, you know, we have got supporters, you know, and from the community, and you know, and I am, you know, the main, you know, supporter of this initiative. And we've got individuals who volunteer their services in Jamaica, and we really want to be able to expand our services. So coming out on the 6th of October will be really very good. You can, you know, get tickets by going on our website, www.familyunification.net. Hit the donation link, and it will take you right to where you can purchase your tickets. And, you know, as I said, it's going to be a wonderful occasion.
Yes.
Dinner, dance, and entertainment. And it is for a very, very worthy cause. Or you can also call, you know, 646-698-2172 for further information.
Okay, there you have it, guys. Miss CARMETA ALBARUS. I got that right the last time. Once again, that website is www.familyunification.net. You can log on to get your tickets or donate.
Or you can donate,
Yes.
you know, and send, and the information for the address for the organization is, we're in Harlem. That's the local address. We have our office in Jamaica too, where we provide our services. But a check can be made to FURI, F-U-R-I, and sent to 144 West 127th Street, New York, New York 10027. And all donations, every single dime that is donated, every single dime that is made from this event is going to be going down to provide the services. And it is, all donations are tax deductible.
Okay, thank you for joining us, everyone. Once again, Miss CARMETA ALBARUS, and keep it locked to New York Links. It's Catch a Fire.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.